It was about 78 here today. Mowed the yard earlier today. It was pretty straightforward. Had a
Is that
good
in Celsius
weekend.
or degrees Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit and Celsius was 26. Wasn't that bad. It was a pretty darn good
Fucking
day.
way too hot over here. Pisses me off.
It was a little toasty here. Um, I unfortunately. Hey, wait. Or first of all, are we live on the stream right now, or are
Yes, we
we?
are
Or,
live. It is 7,
oh,
so I
okay.
turned it on.
Oh, very well. I unfortunately did not make it to the local game store to meet the esteemed Shadowrun author, Russ
Russ
Zimmerman. I
Zimmerman.
missed out on meeting him. I missed out on
Oh,
meeting him today.
eh, I don't think
But you
there's
know
much
what?
of a point. I mean, okay, if I hear that Montreal or anywhere like that, Brian shows up, I might go. Okay, I might go
Brian,
because
Brian, Brian, who?
Bri, Brian Bussin Young.
Oh, yes, of
Bro,
course.
I might have to go and get kicked out of the convention. But I mean, if Stackpole it came in, I mean, I don't agree with Michael Stackpole on most things, but I'd still get him to sign some of my books.
And
I'd
that,
still
and
love
you
to
hit
have that.
the word you said there, the operative word you said there, being books. Yes, I'm not a fan of Stackpole's politics, but I do have a ton of his books, and it would be cool to get them signed, considering they're like, early edition prints, not reprints. But with Zimmerman, he was
Mine
being,
are second edition. My English Way of the Clans,
yeah,
I think it's Way of the Clans or Blood of Kerensky. I think it's Blood of Kerensky, the second trilogy made. Is second
yeah, yeah.
edition with the logo on it. Said the basis for a it cartoon show. There's a logo on it on each of the book for that. It's
Oh,
hilarious.
cool.
And
Well,
my
the thing is,
French ones, my French Warrior trilogy is in French, and
ooh,
it's
nice.
by Fleuve Noir, who had the license before it switched over to someone else, and they've got all sorts of wacky translations in it rather than the common and normal translations. It's really funny. Honestly, I find it really funny because some of the names are actually better with the translation. Like the Hatchet Man is the slaughterer.
Oh,
Is the
dude.
French word for it, but it's the slaughterer is the name of the mech. And I find that to be a very nice name of a mech, and it hasn't been used yet either. At least not that I know of.
I can't think of one. But when you said book, that's what it is right there, though, is that the local game store was billing it as, oh, Battletech author Russ Zimmerman is going to be here. And I looked it up and I'm like, 5 short stories and shrapnel as opposed to an omnibus, 2 trilogies, multiple source books for Shadowrun. If you guys would have billed him as Shadowrun author Russ Zimmerman, okay, fine, whatever. But you build him as a Battletech author, which he
That
is
makes
not.
no sense that they bill him as a as a BattleTech author. With what you've just said, I mean, the problem is nobody plays Shadowrun right now.
Uh, right now, if ever, look, Cyberpunk is a thing. I'm never going to dispute that.
Shadowrun, no,
But like,
Shadowrun was in the top 5 most played games for a while in the 90s, of
really,
course. Yeah, it was one of the big games. It was bigger than Shadowrun 2070, 2040, and 2077, and all of those.
yeah, yeah. I didn't know it was played really
I
heavily
don't
in
know.
the 90s. But then
It
again,
was
in the 90s,
huge.
I was a child in the 90s, so I mean, I wasn't
Ah,
really
well,
playing RPGs,
just gonna link in the
So
video.
that kind of
No, no,
informs my opinion there.
of course, the first time I saw Shadowrun was in the FASA catalog that came in uh, Reinforcement and Reinforcement 2, the big boxes where
Yeah.
you had tons of cardboard. Those were really fun boxes, and I wish they made them again. It's a sad state of affairs. Because, I mean, cardboard minis, I'd be perfectly fine with. Raphelia once linked a bunch of, it was plexiglass minis for historical gaming, and you still have to paint them. It's little plexiglass, like little windows, and you stain glass them basically with your
Ooh,
paints. I mean,
Oh yeah,
do that
almost
for
like
all
a
the battle mechs. It would be cheaper than the plastics, and people would be happy to have it. Hey, Leon is
and
here.
still
Land
not
Leonard,
painting it.
hello. You'd still not be painting it. No, I mean, there's a few things like that that I think would be fun to get again. I mean, the plastic is nice, but getting more minis, cardboard, plexiglass, like I was saying, something like that would be fun too, and it would let us have, the Doom Courser and the all those mechs from the Ill Clan book. I mean, you just do a cardboard flip, you put it into a little base, and you're good to go. They do it for D&D. Don't see why you couldn't do it for BattleTech.
Yeah, I don't know. That could be cool. I know I would dig the stained glass. That stained glass, paint your own stained glass thingy.
Yeah.
I would dig that mostly because the kids like painting stuff like that and putting it in the window.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just to
Those
have
those
fun
little
sometimes.
suncraft thing, those sun catcher things you get at the arts and crafts store, and they're like holiday themed or general stuff. The kids like doing little crafts like that. So, hey, if we had something like that as battle mechs, like that would be cool as hell. I'd definitely hang battle
I mean,
battle
if you'd
mech
have them
sun
if you
catchers in the
sold
window.
them, if you sold them for $1 rather than now they're about $10 a minis,
Yeah.
Well, Altec hasn't been that bad yet, but their prices have gone up, and I don't like it.
Well, I got into it the other day on the DFA server before I got narked on and kicked out of the Hell Memory server, wherein I point out that no, we are actually we have been in 40K minis territory for quite some time now. It's just you don't really see it because BattleTech.
You don't
need
buy
20 space marines. You need 20 space marines to play Warhammer. I don't need 20 battle mechs to play BattleTech.
Yeah.
Unless I
mean,
want
this is
to.
something I would buy from my store, but of course they're out of stock. But I think it just came out, so it's probably going to be out of stock forever.
Which Ill Clan book is
Battletech
that?
Universe, I'm not interested in. That's the rec guide to Ill Clan for some of the new mechs. I'm okay with buying
which
them,
one?
even though the quality is
on
kind
volume.
of crap. Yeah, that's volume 2.
They're on volume 2 right now. Oh, okay.
I have volume 1 behind me. I mean, I just got done doing the Mongrel video and the Sagittaire. No, the Sagittaire video and the Malik video. Next week is going to be Grendel and Seraph for the Celestials. I'm just going to do all the 5 Celestials. Get that out of the way.
Hell yeah.
Like I did all of the 275 Mafia. Got that out of the way. Hello to Rogue Dex.
Hello there,
to
Rogue
David
Dex.
S. Hello to Land Leonard. Hello to my first major subscriber, Mr. David Glenn. I've changed what I do on my channel since he joined, but he still joins every once in a while. He's a great guy. I mean,
Great
if you
guy.
look,
We love him.
we
love him. Welcome to the chat.
I mean, Anson's Rough Rider, 36 bucks. I mean, those are Canadian, of course, but I mean, those are pretty reasonable. But if you go to the price keeps going up. The price keeps going up. Like Ensign Rough Rider Battle Lance, 36. Eridani Light Ores, 39. I mean, in order, every time a new one gets released, the price goes up.
Yeah.
This one here, this is my saddest purchase. I probably shouldn't have bought it. I've used those urban mechs, so at least I can say I've used them. But this is probably my
Everyone should you should at least buy one urban mech lance box because they are different urban mech variants. Yeah. So
it's the company box with the 12 of them that are all the AC10 version. That one I wasn't impressed with at all. They should have given you like 3 copies of that box.
But it was an online exclusive. I do believe you can only get it on the Catalyst web store. So, how many people actually did that?
Very few people, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, a lance.
My favorite box is
for that lance.
The level 2s with 6 mechs, even though they were more expensive, those were really great boxes, and it's all mechs that I like in each of them. So I got nothing. Hello, Red Door Maximo. How are you doing? So yeah, Battletech it can get expensive. That's why I still say we should get those reinforcement style boxes back with either cardboard, plexiglass, something cheaper, a cheaper mini version, and that would, like when Steam came out and all those things came out. I mean, if you do give people more cheap options and easy options, you cut down on piracy. It always happens like that. It's silly, but it works. I mean, give me a way to get all those Rec Guide 2 mechs in a cheap paper or something
Hey, I
like
gotta
that.
drop out. I gotta drop
Do it.
out for a minute.
So fine.
I gotta drop out for a second, but I will be back later. All right.
Not a
Be back
problem. Just
later.
come back when you can. All
No.
right. So
Now
yeah,
you're stuck in here with me.
sent the link to Collector and to Elkite. Elkite's always it's always a challenge for him since he's in Australia and he has to use Australia tech to get in. Collector's probably going to come in a little bit. I did
Has to get the tech smuggled into his prison island.
It's weird. I mean, I wouldn't want to live in Australia. I'd love to live in Australia, but not live in Australia for the internet. There are things that I'm happy to be in Canada for. So yeah, we've got a few of the Exiled Clans worked out. We might improve on them. I never found any Steel Viper, Galaxy Commander, or Khan badge, so I had to use the Jade Falcon one. That's a good thing. Capsuleers. What do you mean by capsuleers? The idea of a Vadborn is basically that, like someone who is grown to purpose. I don't think I've got the page open though. I need to find it. Vatgrowns.
For the Steel Viper insignia, are you sure that it didn't show up? You didn't find any pictures of it?
I didn't see it last time, but Sarna's been a mess for the past week or so.
Sarna's been a mess for years.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of the images on it, they've broke a link somewhere, and a lot of the images have to be relinked in each of the pages manually. It's kind of annoying.
It
Not
might be in the Warden Clans source book that FASA put out.
I'd have to check that. I mean, it was 100% random. I was looking actually for the Matrix farm, people farm, but this came up from some random website for someone was actually talking about making a facility to grow babies. And I was like, well, I'll steal that image. Canada is some of the most expensive internet in the world, but it's some of the most reliable as well. We don't notice it in Canada because we live in it, but compared to one of the guys I watched that streams Zelda, for 3 weeks he had to fight with Comcast to go fix his internet line, and he had to do an FCC complaint to get it fixed. In Canada, if that started to happen, we have a better system than having to contact the FCC for it. That's why. So the internet is expensive, but it's good quality and it's available in a lot of places. I would think the iron wombs, Redter, the iron wombs you have in the normal clans, they'd be much smaller facilities than this. They'd be like, you'd be producing maybe 20, 30 babies at a time. This era, this would be closer to what our friends in the Wolverine Union would be doing. And that's just like one chamber out of like 50 in the building, because they would be mass producing Vatgrowns in a quantity.
If you want the something closer to the clans currently,
Mm-hmm.
watch the very beginning of the Kurt Russell movie, The Soldier.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, Jeffrey, they're not at that level yet in the what we have got here. I mean, honestly, EVE Online, the way it works and the way EVE Online is written is relatively fantastic. I find the concepts behind EVE Online really cool for the Capsuleers, as you said. Like you've got clones stashed somewhere, and you transfer your body and your mind to it. That's would be fantastic, but that would probably be like 2 or 3 steps away from what we have now, at least in Battletech as well, because we don't have that mind swapping technology yet in Battletech. Battletech
Not,
is not that
not,
advanced.
yeah, not quite like the show Altered Carbon.
Altered Carbon. Yeah. But if anybody's played EVE Online, or if you read a little bit on EVE Online how the Capsuleers work and the pilots of the ships work, it's quite awesome. The problem with the Amaris family is that they don't want to be Vatgrown or anything like that. So that bit is where there's a problem. So I've got that little write-up done. I know a lot of people were like, yeah, write stories or stuff about Vatgrowns and how they would be. I'll have to do that at some point, but I mean, writing is, as we've seen, a lot of work. And it's collaborative work. We've got a few people helping me out on some of the stuff I write for fiction. Icarus here, a good example of someone who helps me out. He wants to write his own stuff as well, and I support you on that. And yes, for Trueborn, I put Mikolai Maltis because he's still my representation of what a Trueborn warrior should look like in a lot of cases. I know Vlad Ward, Wolf Jesus 1.0 is also pretty good for that.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, what you have here is the Republic, the RimWorld Republic in exile, couldn't grow their population as quickly as they wanted. They met the Wolverines, and the Wolverines gave them the technology on a silver platter, and they just rolled with it as much as they could. You have the Trueborns that are their own category. They're technically not one of the generation of Vatgrowns because they follow the same original rules as the clans. You need a mother and a father that are not complete fuck-ups to make a good baby. You're probably, Jeffrey, you're probably going with the technology that will come from what's going on right now. And that would make things a lot more crazy. When you can just upload your brain to a mech and let that do the trick. So for our friends in the Republic and it's mostly the Wolverines and the other Exiled Clans, they have their Trueborn program that generates elemental mech warriors and proto mech warriors. Recently been starting to do proto mech warriors. They don't have the aerospace fighter phenotype because, as we've seen and heard, it's not the most useful one, right? So they really go with the 2 basic useful ones and have made one for protomechs. As time goes on, things become a little bit different. When Trueborns are tested down, because it can still happen, they generally are still viewed as higher class than any other Vatgrown, because they're Trueborn. They're supposed to be better than people, and there's very little chance that Trueborn being tested down will go like to labor caste. Labor caste, tech caste, the really lower rung ones, that's what your average and generic Vatgrown will be for, more than anything else. Generation 1 Vatgrowns is the most basic way of doing it. You take 2 random genetic material, 2 donors, male, 1 female, mix it together, make a baby through an iron womb. Nothing really fancy, nothing really complex. You might have some minor gene editing just for testing or for trying things out, but nothing above and beyond that.
Or
People, mhm.
for scrubbing out like um, genetic defects, like for those who had, like, for example, a history of some sort of
Heart disease.
illness, like heart disease, diabetes, or pretty
Yeah,
much,
you don't.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want those. You don't want the people you're going to be building to start costing you a whole lot in doctor bills. So that's a good idea.
Oh, they just use the Canadian system.
No, I'm not going that far yet. Most Generation 1s, they're still raised in collective creches. They've got basic education for various jobs. If you test up, you might change to go to upper education if possible, or even go into a warrior role like a trueborn if you basically test up rather than testing down like the regular clan way is. Is like if you're a remarkable Generation 1, they're going to make do with it. You're probably never going to be one of the top of the top, but you're going to be respected a little bit more. Gen 1 can easily be drafted in the military for tank crews, infantry, power armor infantry, ship crew. Nothing that is too complex. But of course, highly motivated ones, people who test well, they might join a regular trueborn creche and go through a regular trial of position at the end to see where they go. Pretty straightforward, basic thing. Generation 1 is nothing special, basically. It's the opposite of the Trueborn program, but it works just fine. Gen 2 is where you start doing a lot more genetic work to it. Rapid growth. So rather than maturing in about 20 years, in about 15 years, they're going to be ready to work, basically. So you save 5 years, which is not bad. Life expectancy is going to be lower. Doesn't really matter for what they're doing right now. And they are infertile, not sexless, but infertile.
Sterile.
So they can't reproduce normally. Let's say there's probably going to be exceptions because you can't fix all
The
of it.
turkey baster technique.
Or, I mean, if you find 2 Generation 2 people that have that are really high tier and really good, well, you might take their genetic material and do a Generation 1 out of it. Something like that. When the society showed up and the word of Blake showed up is when things started getting a little bit more funky. The society has started. Yes, life finds a way. When the society showed up, that's when they started doing more grown to task, Vatgrown. So you've started to push the limit a little bit more as to what you can do. You start combining the elemental phenotype with some Generation 2 Vatgrowns to make a bigger, more resilient workforce. That works.
Like the Neo Sapiens from Exo Squad.
Exactly. They start doing. That's when the society started, and that's the end result. Will be your Generation 3, which is not embraced by everyone, except Clan Isolian, who is all in on that. Not just in infertile or they literally are sexless androgynous beings, more or less.
They're Jem'Hadar.
They're Jemadar. That's a very good way to put it. Still more human looking, of course, but they have reached that point where reproduction is no longer needed. This is no longer needed. This is no longer needed. They start crossing out what is no longer needed. And genetic growth is much faster, fully formed around 12 years. So you start saving even more time. Yes, their lifespan is going to be shorter, but, who really cares?
Ice Hellion lives a quarter mile at a time.
Exactly. So at that point, everything is grown to task as well. So you get that next step once again to that. Once you get to that particular point, that's when you get to the bioroids, who are not human. Literally at that point, they are not human. They don't have any upper brain function because they don't need it, and it's probably going to be replaced by a bunch of Word of Blake implants anyways. Basically, it's just a grown body that you're going to put in an aerospace fighter, a battle mech, or a proto mech. You hook it in, and you have a commander, who's going to remote in to them. That's basically all they're meant to be. Those can be grown extensively quickly. In about 18 months, you get a ready-to-go bioroid. But once again, this is a combination of society and Word of Blake technology. And this is not the most frequent thing yet, but they're pushing it as much as they can, basically. Someone who's connected to a bioroid, if the bioroid dies for any reason, until another bioroid replaces it or something like that, you're going to have a ghost limb syndrome associated with it. You're going to feel like you're missing something throughout the rest of your life if it's not replaced. So it's not a comfortable feeling. When they die, you have a very high probability of you yourself also getting some brain damage. So it's not a fun thing to happen. But
if
that's
enough of them die, the neural feedback.
Yeah, you are going to die
fatal.
of neural feedback. The most unholy union in Battletech: Rimworld's Republic, Word of Blake, and the Society. I think it's very hard to be more evil than that. Even if there's a few that might be more correct. They're not meant to be nice. Yep, that's where I'm taking a lot of those inspiration on those things. Space Above and Beyond, Exo Squad, Heavy Gears as it as well with the Grells. Those kind of things. It always appeals to me a little bit because of the inhumanity it brings to war, but it also gives you some fun characters you can play with. So, fun fact: bioroids that are deconnected from the assembly or their commander dies will decompose almost instantly. Well, not almost instantly, but extremely quickly. The body is meant to die and be destroyed, so you can't trace anything regarding it or anything like that. So that's a defensive mechanism they've put into it. So we've got now at least a good understanding of how that portion of the union is going to work. I don't think I've gone up that far yet. But I mean, there's a lot of potential with this and a lot of potential stories you could write as well, or want to role play in various ways if you want to do a mechwarrior game with it. So it gives people options, and it gives a fun idea of where we can go with all of this, and gives us a different society once again from the good old clans or the inner sphere, which is where I want to go with a lot of this. Just with some of these. So this was a pretty big chunk of work that I needed to do, I think. So it's good that we have something regarding that. As far as
Speaking
the
of vengeance,
Mhm.
within a couple of weeks, I should be getting a new shipment of minis. Shout out to Modest Mini Studios for his excellent work. To be able to do a bunch of kit bashing and see about building up some dioramas to take pictures of, see about sending to you to look over, possibly put
what
on your
I'm starting to
website.
think, I'm gonna do war maps for some of the wars.
Yeah,
I need for the Battle of Yorii. I need to do a whole war map for it. I'm starting to have an idea of. Oops, let's see. Terrible message. I'm gonna just delete it. Oh, I could ban myself. No, okay. I'm not banning myself. Meka Musume and Manny Domini. I've heard of weirder things. I'm trying not to go down that particular aisle, Redter. I mean, I know some people will take it wrong. I'm trying to go in a specific direction, let's say, which is, let's say, more balanced and less weird. I've got the write-up done for 3 of the clans, the Burrox Alliance and Steel Viper. Blood Spirit, I think we had an idea of what we wanted to do with them. Have them be the actual sensible one of the bunch, and go
they
to
couldn't be
that.
the sensible one during the Wars of Reaving, or even for most of clan history. The only time they were really sensible was
Their
in the
first con.
in the very beginning until Nicholas Kerensky decided to do the trial of annihilation on the Wolverines, and then the Blood Spirits are like, yeah, fuck this shit. We don't want to be around you guys.
I think it'd be fun. I think to have them beat. I have 2 options, honestly. For the sensible ones, I've got 2 options, and they're the 2 remaining ones: the Blood Spirits or the Fire Mandrills. You can bring the Fire Mandrills to be the sensible ones. Who do you want to be the sensible one?
Clan IR Baboon.
So,
I mean, you could have had Steel Viper as the sensible one.
Steel Viper we'll go and look at them real quick. Steel Viper have an obsession with we're not failures. That's what their current obsession is, basically.
Yeah.
They want to show the universe at large that they're not absolute failures, which is, well, what they were for most of their existence. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Even with their very, very, very first con, trying to remember her name, Kinnison.
They add a very sad history. Every mech that they develop is always a case of, well, let's roll. We designed it. It's not very good. Let's roll with it. So, I mean, the crossbow's not terrible. It's not very good. The Battle Cobra is pretty okay, but not very good. The Phoenix Hawk 2C
Battle Cobra is the one with the Battle
Phoenix
Cobra
Hawk
is the
2C
one with
is
the
like
pulse lasers and the targeting computer, right?
not
That's
even
a pretty good mech.
It's probably the best thing they ever designed.
Yeah.
Right now, what I said in it is that they're the 2 Omni-Mechs they're building are Battle Cobras and Elbringers. The rest is basic machine or Bioroid machine for other people.
Yeah.
So mostly 2Cs and things like that. But I have a new version of the Elbringer and a new version of the Battle Cobra for that. We're going to look at it while we're talking about it. The Hell Snake,
All right.
the Hellbringer Mark III at this point, since there's already a Mark II.
You gotta come up with a better name than Hell Snake.
So, Endosteel Ferrofibrous, which the original Elbringer doesn't have. It limits you a little bit because you can't stick as much guns on it, but you've got more weight allowance. So, evens out in the end. As any good Steel Viper piece of hardware, any good Union piece of hardware, it comes with a C3i. This one doesn't have a version with a boost and master, which sometimes I put in now. There's different options I'm looking at and different ways of building them.
I wonder where you got your current love of interface cockpit from.
I will not blame Elkite at all for that one. But it works in this case since they're set up as it is an interface cockpit that
Hey, Collector.
they're using.
Hey, what's up, Ward? What's up, 18?
How are you doing?
You know you want to go ahead and drop it. Go on.
No.
You got
I'll do it. I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
So it's got more armor than a Elbringer. 9 tons of ferrofibrous gives you like 20% more armor. It's not even maxed out. And the basic design, 2 ER PPC, 3 ER mediums, 2 light machine guns, a Streak SRM6. You don't have the fancy electronics because you replace it with a targeting computer and some heat sinks.
with the Steel
it's a smart
Vipers.
Elbringer.
With the Steel Vipers,
I hate the Hellbringer.
do you think they're going to change their doctrine to either be more melee based or more long range pinpoint?
Most mechs in the Union are
energy-based,
going
or-
to have options for melee, so everybody's going to change a little bit. So,
or do you think they'll like prefer close in missile brawling?
well, right now with the L Snake, the first one's just an Elbringer. The second one's a different version of the Elbringer A, as well, with a Artemis 5 LRM 20. So, Spicy Noodle, yes, Spicy Noodle and Elf Snake.
You should give them acid munitions.
That'd be nasty. Those do exist.
I know.
B is also just a copy of the Elbringer B, but this one would have got a targeting computer. Targeting computer with a Gauss rifle and 3 ER medium is pretty damn nice, and 2 Streak SRM6 is really nasty. So this is gonna be a nasty beast. Yes, it's 3,200 BV, but you know, things happen.
Only
Plus 25% because of the C3i.
well, plus 30% because of the interface cockpit. The interface cockpit adds 30% to the final value.
Oh boy.
Why'd you build such an expensive thing?
They're all freakishly expensive. Don't worry.
Oh man.
The thing is, they're expensive, but they wouldn't be cash expensive in the Union because they've got the stuff to make them.
Yeah.
So,
Daddy
Ultra
Warbucks
AC-20 with
and
4 tons
Marist.
of ammo, a ER large, 2 ER medium, and a Streak SRM6. This is death on legs, literally.
Them legs.
I remember playing against my brother. The first time I played against my brother, who brought a mech with an Ultra AC-20, and both shots connected.
Oh no!
It made me cry.
I'll make anybody cry.
I was also like 8, so that didn't help.
It's like that is getting crit shot in the face. Turn 1.
the thing is, I'd be less worried about that than.
Oh yeah, no.
And a deconfiguration is, the fun one with 2 plasma rifle, 2 plasma cannons, a targeting computer, and B pods, because infantry needs to die.
Jesus, man.
Needs flamers.
All them.
I mean, you could
plasma weapons?
swap the ER mediums for 2 flamers, but I think I like ER mediums better here.
Why not just go all the way, man? Just go all the way.
I mean, it's an
Flame
omni
volley,
mech. You can
anti-infantry.
change it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
an
true.
omni mech. You could take those 2 B pods off and put 2 ER flamers instead. Have fun.
Yes.
Put ER flamers in the legs.
Yes.
Knee fire. Oh, that looks so stupid. Yet it is so
But it would
Battletech.
work.
It is so Battletech.
What's that one mech that has like the 2 hip cannons? It has no arms, but it's got the 2 hip.
Viking.
Yeah, that one.
I love the Viking though. The Viking is a
It's so
fantastic
derpy.
mech. The Viking 2C is even better. So
I haven't ran that. I like how it looks, but I've never used it.
did I not save that one yet? I don't think I did. Oh, that's good that it asked me to save it then. Save. Okay. It's the 3050 box of mech, so I'll go here, save the L Snake. Because I've got a new Battle Cobra as well. It's just Battle Cobra Mark II for now. Might change the name.
Do you like Battle Cobra? What do you think of it? I haven't ran that one.
It's decent. The thing is, it's one of those cheap clan mech. Under 2,500 BV.
So
cheap.
usable without breaking the game.
Exactly. So, Battle Cobra Mark II. I basically copied the Battle Cobra's original setups. Put the full arms in so they can punch people, and AES in the legs so they don't fall over. So it's great for trainees and people like that.
Clanners love that close quarter combat. They hate that long range combat.
Yeah, clanners hate that stuff.
That's right.
But I mean, that's where. Oh yeah, it's faster too. It's rather than 6.9 and 7.11.
It's not too bad.
I mean, 7.11 with 2 large pulse lasers and a C3I. It's gonna get in range.
Oh yeah. Get that back armor.
4 arms instead of 2 arms and leg if you have a tail.
No.
Battletech, I don't think would support that too well.
It doesn't support it because of the whole additional limbs, neural helmet sort of thing. It's why you also don't have tails
imaging
or in most cases like 6 limbs walking around or anything like that.
I mean, it's why the tripods need 3 pilots as well, right?
But
I mean, we're
a
dealing
3-man crew, but only 1 pilot.
Triskelion isn't too bad.
Triskelion is the only one that's playable normally. The others are all kind of special. I don't like the super heavies personally. I don't like them. Just doesn't sit right with me, I guess. So yeah,
I'm gonna build a super heavy that uses battle armor scale medium pulse lasers, so that way I can piss you off and piss Elkite off all at the same time.
Because you'd be able to fit like 1 million of them on the mech at that point. Like you'd make a 150-ton mech with just battle armor size medium pulse lasers.
I don't know, battle armor flamers. And it's just, you don't even see the mech, you just see a wall of fire that moves.
Hell yeah.
And rumbles the ground a little bit. The rumbling.
But the thing is with belters, Jeffrey, it's not really that they have hands for feet. It's just that their feet are agile enough to grab things. My wife's like that already, so.
Ooh,
just saying.
My wife is a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
So are you telling me you have a foot fetish? Is that what you're telling me?
No, that is not the case. But
She took grippy socks. She took grippy socks.
oh, I do have one with a C3 boosted master on this one. C3 boosted master, Atchet, and ERPPC for the heck of it.
Collector, you could die a little quieter, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll cough louder in the microphone for you.
So yeah, those are basically what I've had a bit of fun with Steel Viper. So Steel Viper basically moved into the Union, and we're like, well, we were fuck ups for so long. Maybe we should stop fucking up. That's their whole thing.
Hey, good ideas.
While joining,
first
this
thing they
team.
did, build a jump ship and warship facility around their new capital, basically, and that's what they've actually been investing the most in, and they've been working on that to get things going. Their newest con is a little bit more
Neck behind the
open on things as well. So I have a bit of an idea here of where I want to go with them. They're going to be the ones who are going to attack the Marian hegemony.
Okay.
A lamb with talons, that'd be cool. That would be pretty cool. Would it work? It'd be rough, but doable. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it'd be doable. And you don't need anything in the legs for the conversion equipment.
Like talents already.
Yeah, talons is a weapon.
Yeah.
It's a melee weapon that the clans invented.
Yeah, the Jade Falcons used it on their
because
the
doubling the kick damage is
the Jade Phoenix or whatever.
Jade Phoenix. There's a few.
No, the Jade Hawk. The
Jade Hawk. Yeah, Jade Hawk.
And it's Omni mountable
Shrike
equipment. You can mount it as an Omnipod.
Yeah.
I mean, all sorts of things you can do that are going to be fun and nasty. So yes, the Steel Vipers are going to strike against the Marian hegemony, and they're going to be the ones who have the most success at the start of the whole operation. Not fantastic, but pretty good.
One thing you could do with Steel Viper stuff, if you want to give them more of a melee favoring doctrine, you could start equipping their mechs with retractable blades, sort of as a symbolic.
I like the claws. They're trash, but I like using claws on a lot of mechs for now. But they are pretty trash.
The claw or the retractable blade?
What do you mean?
Which would have the better stat?
The retractable blade's advantage is that you get that free critical. When you hit, you get a chance for a critical. The claw deals more damage, deals more straight damage.
Okay.
In the claws, you can punch with them, while the retractable blade is only one attack. Well, no, technically they're punches, so you could have two retractable blades. It gets... I'm not sure, honestly. The retractable blades are a little bit lighter. They take the same amount of slots. Really, the best melee weapon is still the hatchet.
Okay.
The mace is very high damage, but +2 piloting skill roll to it is not very good. So, and everything else is kind of weird. And talons is the best melee weapon because you double your kick damage. Then you put triple strength Myomer on, and bad things happen. You kick a leg with an 80-ton mech, and you start dealing center torso damage.
Don't forget that boosts your DFA damage too.
True.
No,
I've never had good luck with DFAs, so there is that.
No, the best one is the ram plate. But
ram plate?
Yep.
Allows you to do charges pretty well.
It's a...
So it's like a killdozer fucking thing in the front of the mech or something.
You've seen the Toro the Bull from Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah.
Basically, you're doing that.
Yeah.
Or like the first mech that had it was the Rhino, and it did a whole bunch of stuff. One, it I believe added 50% damage to the charge itself.
That's a
It also reduced physical damage that you take by 50%,
That's crazy.
as well as the damage that you would take from from charging something, and reduce that by half as well.
I just imagine like the Dark Age stuff with the freaking bulldozer buckets in front, you know?
The plow.
Yeah, put a plow in front of a mech, and that's pretty much, because it's giving you a little more protection from what you're breaking, and it's hurting whatever you're hitting a little more. You're not damaging servos, you're not damaging my armor bundles or anything like that, or joints.
Someone had on the forums had worked on design on actually giving it stats, because only mention of the RAM plate is from Battle Technology issue 12, and it was like in TRO form, didn't really have any info on it.
Yeah.
But they had made it so that it also would consolidate all the damage from a charge into one location.
Damn, dude.
Sometimes there's stuff like that is a little bit over the top.
Well,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Broken, man.
It would make sense for like mechs that are purpose built for charging, like the Longhorn.
Like the Charger 3KR.
No,
that thing.
no.
What I want to do is get that pile bunker statted in at some point.
Yeah.
It's a 6-shot. It's a 6-shot, but rather than shooting a bullet, it activates the pile bunker that you smash into people. The Altyson is a genius design of a mech.
I love that mecha design.
It is fantastic. And I mean, when you read the story and the plot, and you're like, why did you put an engine that makes mech flies in it? Yeah, so it can still stand up. What? Yeah, it's got too much armor and too many weapons. What?
What Gundam series is that one from?
Or thrust.
That's Super Robot Wars.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's just, yeah. It does have it has a specific look at the some of the Super Robot Wars mech. I mean, they're clearly Gundam inspired, but those Wildwürger as well. Those a few of them.
Like
I mean, this one here clearly looks like a Gundam, but it has its
visually. They are. God dang, that coffin, boy! Come on.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. I'll mute myself.
Are you okay?
Please don't die. But I mean, yeah. But anyway, not fool. They are visually visually similar yet legally distinct.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the best way to say it. I mean, the Geshpent is the very basic Geshpent, which is their like their generic mech. Which one is it? The Mark II. Yeah, I mean, it's such a basic machine, but it works so well. The model kits for them are pretty cool too. Super Robot Wars, I mean, some of it is fantastic. The problem is none of them really come out in North America because of legal reasons. So it gets pretty hard to get.
Because Bandai, Funimation, Studio Madhouse, whoever it is, hates their fan base.
No, the original reason was... Do you remember a certain company called Harmony Gold?
Oh.
Yeah.
They're involved.
This one looks a little bit too much like a Gundam, so technically in the TV series that they did for Super Robot Wars, they couldn't include the Upbinds because they look too much like Gundams.
Dude, that is a Gundam.
It is basically a Gundam, but I mean
That is a
Ben
Gundam, and I
Presto.
cannot be convinced otherwise.
Ben Presto, it basically belongs to Bandai. So this one's the coolest looking one of the bunch, Ugbine Mark II. In black like that, it just looks so badass.
That too is a Gundam.
It is a Gundam. the Ugbines are clearly heavily inspired, let's say. I mean, they belong to Bandai, so legally they don't have any problems making them, but they couldn't put them in the TV shows. The
Yeah.
black and gold, the tape on it. This one also looks cool.
Yeah.
Triple X on the head. Yeah, that's a gangsta mech right there.
It doesn't tell me the name of this one, but it's like it's one of the Super Robot Wars 5 suits, the original suits. It's got like big missile pods.
There's a few of them like that.
I know. I'm trying to find out. I want you to take a look at it, but it didn't tell me the name.
The Vice Ritter is also. It's just cool because it's got that huge ass sniper rifle. I mean, Super Robot Wars has some of the nicest design for their original suits. The original suits are surprisingly good, and I'm somewhat surprised that we haven't gotten more of it. Super Robot shows, I miss those. I haven't been that many good ones recently, so that's part of my problem.
There you go. I just sent it to you. I DM'd it to you. Hey, dude.
What, you didn't like J-Lo robot movie on Netflix?
Oh,
I haven't seen that one. Is it good?
No.
Oh, damn. Okay, well.
The
I
mech
don't
has pronouns.
Oh god.
And you're-
Okay,
we're-
never mind.
I mean,
I
how
don't
do
know
we
which
want to
one that is
criticize
either,
this?
Collector.
How do we want to criticize the movie?
Nope.
The mechs have
said.
pronouns,
You
or
already-
the fact that we're trying to make a almost 50-year-old J-Lo be a action star? Just please
Well, they
make
tried
Made
that
for
with Kate
Manhattan too.
Blanchett in
You know,
Borderlands. We saw that went.
would you rather have J Lo as an action star or Rosario Dawson as an action star?
I mean, she's
Rosario
getting kind of
Dawson,
on
I
up
think
her
she
too.
could do it. I think
I
Rosario
mean-
Dawson could do it if she actually had a director that wasn't terrible. That's the problem
She
she
moved.
had.
She moved very slow and sluggish in that
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka TV
But
series.
I think the
like-
problem was the makeup and the direction was terrible. That's where
She
it's-
slowly walked across the platform and sluggishly swung her lightsaber.
Yeah,
I need to find and actually sit through the warship creation rules because there's a few warships I need to go through. Actually, I want to make an SX Mark III, Block 3
tactical
SX.
operations.
Yeah, but it's not easy to build a warship.
That's why you use that's why you've got to use Mega Mech, man. That thing solves all the. There's like some formula where it's like it determines how much crew you have based off of your ship's tonnage and all that good stuff, and Mega Mech does all that crap for you. You honest to God need a computer program to do a warship.
Yeah.
And even then you're looking at it and you're like, okay, it says here that I've got the bare minimum crew. That makes sense, but do I actually have enough tonnage devoted to the provisions for the crew? Do I even need to worry about that type of stuff? It's just a pickup game of space battles.
That's the one. That's the one Collector was talking about. The design is pretty cool. You see, it's a space unit since it doesn't have feet on the legs. But I think it's actually a body. It's actually an update. Like you have the mech and it puts on an armor on top of it because they love doing that in Super Robot Wars and a lot of those shows.
Hey, would you be able to make a Delta Plus or any of the other EFS transformable mobile suits using handheld weapons rules and LAM technology?
Yes.
Probably. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm saying like lambs won't be limited to 55 ton soon. Right now, the tech's not there yet. They've started building new lambs and figuring out how it works with partial wings. Clams. Even though the first,
Clams.
technically the first I did was the Griffin Griffin Lamb. The first one I really did was the Griffin Lamb, but it's incomplete. Like I was going to look at the TRO mech list because those are basically the mechs that I've put down. And there's some of the Andel mech rules. I mean, there's some of those EFS and some of those that wouldn't be using Andel mech rules because their weapons are integrated. Like there's one.
I had to get a copy of that list there. See about.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send it to people who are interested. Yeah, we're gonna look at it right now. I mean, I've got a split in 4 because there's 4 TROs I kind of want to do for it. New Star League as the 4 Gundam Wing.
Star League 2C.
I call it the new Star League. It's okay. This one I think I did a video. No, yeah, I did a video on the Spirit Cat, the Firestarter O2C, which I think is a pretty good idea. The Firestorm Omni, I just need to work on it. It's basically just the regular Firestorm from Exiled Clan, but made as an Omni mech. They don't go any further than that. I mean, the base design was a great idea, so why not just make it better?
Yeah.
Delaware 2C, Deloire, I don't know how you're supposed to say that, honestly.
Delory?
I'm assuming it's pronounced the way they pronounce the planet in Dogram, even though it's spelled differently. The Deloyer planet.
Yeah.
The lawyer called. He said he wanted his money.
That's one. I've got 2 Clan Elbor, and I've got that baby pig that we haven't named.
The Piglet.
The Piglet. I'm not. It's just I don't have the name for it. I didn't put it in. The Wild
Piglet
Boar is the
works.
Lord 2C. Warthog is the Gauntlet 2C. For the other 2Cs, the Gallant 2C, the Vanquisher 2C. Those one I'm pretty much done with. Redshift 2C is because I don't know what to put on it. I have it. I've got like 3 different versions of it because I don't know what to do with it. Redshift being a 20-ton scout originally, I'm making it 25 tons as a 2C, but I'm not sure what to do with it. Like you see, I've got 3 versions.
Yeah. Hey, Teen, I got a question from one of my local players. He asked, why don't they have a Black Knight 2C, being that it was one of the mainstay Star League mechs?
That would be the Spirit Walker.
Spirit Walker?
Yeah, Spirit Walker's it's an Omni mech. It's one of the earlier Omni mechs. Same with the Crab, you've got the Night Chanter, which is an early Omni mech. And the Night Chanter's not that great, but the Spirit Walker's pretty decent.
Oh, yeah.
They're in like one of the odd like
Golden Century.
No, they're not even in Golden Century. They're in
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even know about that one. Thank you, man.
It's in the
Political Century.
Political Century Clan Coyote versus Fire Mandrill campaign pack. It's like a 35-page book or something like that with a bunch of missions. I own it. I've read it for the Spirit Walker and the Night Chanter.
It was one of those ways of, hey, let's get people to play in the early clan era since we have all these early clan rules, and also introduce some of these mechs that we have always talked about in the TROs, but never actually did anything with. So yeah, here's the Coyote that you all knew about, but then here's the Night Chanter and the Spirit Walker. And
which we're basically like, we need to build up Omni mechs. What do? We've got crabs. There you go.
Yeah, they had crabs. and the Black Knight as well, yeah. But they end up not they end up not seeing a whole lot of service for too long because they ended up getting outclassed by like Timberwolves and all the other
became
Omni
obsolete
mechs
really
that were
quick.
coming
The biggest
online.
problem for those
it
early
is possible
Omni-Mechs,
for an Omni to get obsoleted.
it's because the early Omni-Mechs, you could only mount the pods in the arms or the legs, something like that as well. So there were
Supernova
limitations.
King Crab 2C, says Jeffrey.
That's what the story is. Yes. They were running out of AC-20 ammos, so they were like, can we stick more ER large lasers in instead?
I mean, it makes sense. It kind of even looks like a king crab, sort of. You know, it's a hunched over chicken walker
Which one
with
is
big ass guns.
Which one is that?
The Supernova.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much an all energy king crab.
More or less, yeah.
Made this one here. I've made it, so I'm keeping it, but I'm not sure I'm gonna keep it. Ghost Bear Carolinans, Claw ER large pulse laser, ATM 12, 2 AP Gauss, and a targeting computer. Not sure it's gonna be any good, but I mean 2,200 DV on a clan mech is pretty good, especially on an assault.
To be carrying an ATM 12.
ATM 12.
Though I seem to recall that the Ghost Bears. I seem to recall that the Ghost Bears these days are all about their streak LRMs. Or I might be thinking about the Goliath Scorpions. What is it that the Mastodon has?
I'm not sure. I mean, they've done a few different things. Do I have the
Artemis
Griffin?
5?
The new Mastodon?
Yeah, I think Ghost Bear's thing is they really like Artemis 5 fire control.
It's a lot of that tech. If you look at most recent books, it's just that they want to have people playing with the new tech.
Two streak LRM 20s is the base armament.
On the Mastodon?
On the Mastodon, it's 2 streak LRM 20s with 2 ER PPCs as backup.
When ER PPCs are your backup weapons.
I mean, seriously, like, that's just a whole lot of fuck you downrange, you know what I mean?
Okay, yes, I do have the Griffin 2C Lamb that is statted. I haven't gotten it fully done. It's roughly put a Griffin 2C that's a little bit slower, but that can turn into a plane. I mean,
you're only proving the thing with LAMs. They couldn't make it as a mech, and they can't make it as a fighter. So what do? Pop that thing into air mech mode and never leave.
Yep,
there's very few reasons to leave air mech mode, but
pop the lever in air mech mode, and that's it.
Streak LRMs are pretty good, depending on the mech. I mean, if I was to do a new Archer C, 2 Streak LRMs might be an idea for it. 2 Streak LRMs, 4 ER medium lasers, and never look back.
That's just nasty, man.
Well, you won't be able to indirect fire with it, so it does have that weakness, I guess.
True.
I made an
You're trading the ability to indirect fire and fire semi-guided missiles in exchange for, if you hit your target, the weapons go off. So it becomes reasonable to want to take those. Oh, I need an 11 up to hit you. Well, I'm not going to take that, but I got streak LRMs. So now I will take that 11 up to hit you, because if I do roll the 11 or the 12 I need to hit you, I'm hitting you with all 20 missiles, man.
Yep.
That's going to be a very sad day for you. I've got an Incubus Lamb with an interface cockpit, because that's the only way I could make it work. It's slow compared to an Incubus as well, because...
Shame!
Well, you can't put an XL engine in because it's a Lamb. They don't have the tech for the XL engines yet. And once the XL engine tech comes in, you still have enough room. There you go. You'll be able to go 10, 15.
You got a supercharger?
10. Not the base model. It has 6 jump jets. I mean, you could take up the machine guns and put a supercharger in. I mean, that'd be an
Well, you
idea.
can't really
Put-
use the
put improved jump
supercharger
jets on it.
and
Air mech
you
mode.
can't really use. Can you?
No, well, you could,
Why
but it'd be
not?
pointless. You'd go like 9. No, it's still no. You'd. What's the run speed on a 696 air mech? It'd be 3. So you'd be going 6. I mean, there's not much of a point. Not saying that it's bad, but
696 with supercharger or mask becomes a 612.
yeah, but in air mech you divide the speed by your move speed by 3, right? So
For what?
for
No,
walking,
you would times your move by. Wait. Oh, for actually walking on the ground while in air
Yeah.
mech mode? Oh yeah, you'd be slow as hell. Yeah. That does make sense. Do it by a divisor of 3.
I think it's divided by 3. So I mean, putting a supercharger on the Incubus Lamb might not be the best idea. Putting a jump jet, putting a the same thing you have on the Tall Geese, which doubles your jump speed. Yes, that would be a good idea.
Improved jump jets.
Would it be absolutely suicidal? Yes, but you could do it.
Hey, what kind of gun are you giving the Tall Geese? Speaking of,
Do I
Dober gun.
have the stats on it? Tall Geese. Did
can I make a suggestion for what the Dober gun should be?
I have a version with an Ultra AC 20 for now.
Make the Dober gun be a high velocity autocannon 10.
That works.
That works. It's not
But
very
the Dober
good.
gun can double as an energy weapon too. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
so
My
something
other
like-
option was to put 2 ERPPCs tied together. So I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, right now it's an Ultra AC 20 because Ultra AC 20s are fun, especially on a thing that can jump 12. You know,
God, man, that's horrible. That's disgusting, man.
but jumping 12, yeah.
Jumping 12 with an Ultra AC 20, like what is that? What is it? Why is it so fast?
Well, that's the thing. It's like a mask. So if you miss your roll, you lose a jump jet.
Oh, nice.
And you have to do a piloting skill roll at +2, or you crash and you take the crash damage.
Sweet.
So don't fuck up, basically. And it requires an interface cockpit, which is the fancy schmancy design here.
What do they call them in Gundam? The like full 360 degree.
Oh, those are awesome. The ones that you get starting in Zeta Gundam. Yeah. And that's not Gundam doesn't have the interface or any mind control. Well, not mind control, yeah.
You really just have to work. I mean, if you're talking like you've got for the UC timeline, you've got the exam system, and then you've got the whatever system was on the unicorns. I think there's a system that makes normal types kind of be like pseudo new types a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was exam.
Okay, yeah, so that's right. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, so exam makes normal type. All it does is it makes normal types get the reaction times of a new type. Destroy was meant specific, or the unicorn system, whatever it was called, was made specifically to fight and destroy new types. And then I think the Psycho Frame was meant to channel new type energy. It's not a control system per se, so much as an enhancement.
The non-new type ones were the MCON system and the what the hell was it called? It was the one that they used in Gundam Sentinel. The EX Gundam used it. It was like an AI that interfaced with the pilot, so he could use MCON and the funnels without being a new type because it was just being channeled through the AI system.
We've got the Lycan here that Icarus started building. I modified it a bit. You had a supercharger and a mask on it. We could go back to that. I think I changed it to put a targeting computer or something. AG 20, improved heavy medium, large balls, AP Gausses. It's a
Interface cockpit.
Oh, it's just so good, and it
Yeah.
just gives you so much BV. But
What does Interspace Cockpit do? Does it like give you like a +2 to your piloting or like a -2?
it allows you to not put a gyro on the mech.
Oh.
So you get 6 slots to put stuff in the center torso. That's one of the big advantages of it. And it does enhanced imaging and all that fancy stuff as well.
What's the
But you-
risk to the pilot?
You need a paint shunt implant to, when you take a critical hit, not to feel it in your guts. So,
Ouch.
and it does take to the 2 slots in the head. So you've got a higher chance of crit to the cockpit. So that is a bit of an issue. Not huge, but it could be a problem. But this one here, it's incomplete because I'm not sure where we're going to go with it, basically. So I'll send that document to people who want it as well. I've saved it. Warring States, we've got a few different things here. A lot of incompletes. Baku for Clan Elzor's, the 2 quad mechs from Gundam Seed. I want to.
Is it bad that I know like every single one of these mobile suits?
No, it's not bad. I used to be like that too. Don't worry.
Dude.
So, Baku and Legao, Flying Badger. I made a video on that one. Jim.
You made the quad mobile suit part of Hell's Horses? That's perfect.
Of course. Who else would
Dorothy.
make that? They always do that.
I like how it has wings. It's like a 4-legged mech, but with wings.
Yeah, that I'm not sure how I'm gonna make that
Oh,
work.
dude,
but
you have to give it the what is it? The false
partial
wing or
wing.
whatever that helps to cool down your mech
yeah,
a little
but
bit.
it's not good.
Give
on
it jump jet so that it can stabilize in the air and like get a little more range when it jumps.
The thing is, what I wanted to do with them here, I've got the Baku here, 6.9 supercharger, triple strength myomer, fun times with 2 large pulse lasers, 2 medium pulse lasers, and talons on a 60-ton mech. So you kick for 36 with the triple strength myomer, and you can do the buck kick as any good quad mech. Kick on the back because the locust runs behind you and like, haha, I'm in your rear arc. I kick you for 36.
He says, I kick you for 36 and just deletes the locust.
Well, okay, that's my leg, my side torso, and my center torso. I'm dead. Just see the locust fly across the room.
You just see the like when a horse like back kicks some dude.
The GM I have a hard time with because there's so many different variants of the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, there's every grunt fed suit is a GM subtype.
But I mean, the first.
What do you mean you never? What do you mean you never heard of the GM Striker Arctic Commander type from this manga that nobody has ever read because it was only released on a magazine stand in Japan in 1995? You're not a real Gundam fan.
I have a model of that. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't hear all the tags that I added to it, man. GM
I have the
Striker
cold
Arctic
version
Commander
upstairs because
type.
it was $11, so I got it. I mean, $11 for a Gundam model, I'll take it. The original GM was the idea for the gem will be the original one is the Federated Sons want to replace the Valkyrie because it's a Valkyrie, right?
Because the Valkyrie's a piece of crap.
Seems reasonable.
That nobody cares about to use.
So they asked GM, obviously, because that's where the GM name comes from, to make a new Valkyrie with a Snumnose PPC, 2 light machine guns, an LRM-10, a shield, and jump jets, and all the kit.
So a better Panther, but for the Federated Sons.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they need it at that point.
They do.
And then, then there's the Gym Command, and then there's the Gym Dagger, which is the dagger from Gundam Seed.
But hey, team,
and the Gym 2.
What if one of the classic players says, "Hey, but what about the Wolfhound? Wasn't that supposed to be the answer to the?"
The Federated Sons are not building the Wolfhound. It's the Lyrians that are building the Wolfhound.
Oh yeah, you're right. Brain not working.
Well, no, it is. It's just there's so much of them. The Amuro, the actual Gundam, the
The
Maganak,
Gundam.
the original Zaku, and the improved Zaku that everybody and their brothers are allowed to buy.
Yes.
The Zegok I need to play with, and I will probably get my amphibious rules set up. It's basically a bit like a lamb. You spend a bit of your weight in order to make your mecha amphibious. You don't have the Argel regen, but you have the Argel resistance to damage underwater.
I mean, just use the rules that they use for the U variants of a lot of mechs, where they have the seal.
No, that's a step up from there. Your jump jets become UMU when you're underwater.
Yeah.
And they're jump jets when they're on ground, like a Zegok would be in actual Gundam.
I mean, with Battletech rules, you can just build the Gundam stuff. It's so crazy how much equipment is compatible.
I need to find that picture. Someone gave me a picture of a Franken-mech, and they were like, "Well, here you wanted a new mech. Here's a Franken-mech." Okay, well, I made a mech out of it. The Aladdin.
Yes.
Enhanced LRM-20. I ate enhanced LRMs, but I mean it's inner sphere. Arc launcher at 2
What does the enhanced
MML5s.
LRM-20 actually do?
Lower minimum range. It's a bit heavier, but you got only a 3 minimum range instead of the 6 minimum range.
Ah.
It's not bad. Is it great? No, but it's not bad. In enhanced LRMs, as you can see, have access to all the fancy stuff. Unlike
You could have just bought Clan LR. You could have just bought Clan LRMs for the amount of money.
Hey, it's the Duchy of Endurian that builds those things, okay? And the Duchy of Endurian is not friends with a whole lot of people right now.
You need not say. I understood why enhanced LRMs were a thing the minute you said Duchy of Endurian.
It's the Free Worlds League and Duchy of Endurian and stuff like that use those things. There's the other LRM, the LRMs that have been done by the extended range LRMs that have been done by the Federated Suns, but those are entirely terrible.
And that's why you play with the Valkyrie. Okay, leave it at that.
You shoot at 38, but it's like 6 tons more than a regular LRM-20, and you got 4 shots per ton of ammo. Those I really don't like. The enhanced ones, they're not bad. They're not great, but they're not bad.
If I can shoot you from 38 hexes away and I'm in a little maneuverable Valkyrie mech, I'm going to do it.
I hope you do.
I'm sorry. I like them. I think they're cool. They benefit with C3.
Yeah, they are good with C3 units.
The Bolt, because someone when I did my Jenner video, someone said that, well, there's a Jenner, there's an O, and we should make a Bolt. So I made a Bolt. It's the Jenner 3, since the Owen is the Jenner 2. It's a smarter Owen with everything in the pods instead of everything separate. And it uses some clan technology because it's built off the Bowie. That's another Endurian mech. Nothing super fancy. Casmilius, this one is incomplete. Someone on Mini server said he wanted to make a Hermes 2 Omni. So we started workshopping the idea. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Got Centurion Tetsudo is also, it's Marion and Gemini. I'm not sure if where it's going to go. This one is a not a Hell's a Capellan quad at 65 tons with 2 ER PPC and 3 ER medium lasers with an XXL fusion engine because you want to go fast.
I want to go fast.
612 is not that fast, though. Not with some of the mechs we've been building recently. So this one's okay. I mean, we need to have okay mechs, not only good ones. There's the Constantine that I have no idea what it is. This came up. I was doing my list. Constantine. I don't remember when I built that mech. A 70-ton, 4.6, standard to the bone. LB10X, a medium in the back, a large laser in the center torso, and an MML9. It's like a fat Centurion in a way. I'd have to play it. 1,500 BV. It's cheap for a Exiled Clan era mech. So I don't know. I'd have to play it to see it. There's a few Marion and Gemini mechs that they stole from the Federated Sons, with typical Marion behavior. We've got the where is it? The Chibi. Where did I put it? It's not showing up. The Red Cliff. Okay, that's why. It's a militia mech for the or at least a very cheap mech for the Capellan Confederation. 2,500 cost, less than 1,000 BV, plasma rifle, small X-pulse laser that moves 585. It challenges the urban mech. That's its role. Your role in life is to challenge the urban mech and be better. I mean,
Too easy.
Plasma rifles are almost a perfect weapon, so that really helps. That was a simple little mech. Various Sagittaire downgrades and upgrade kits. This one is completely incomplete. The Starman, which is the first Duchy of Endurian new lamb. Large X-pulse laser, 2 ER mediums, and a laser AMS, because a lamb needs a lamb. Fairly straightforward lamb at 50 ton. Nothing super special. Decent armor. Like I said, nothing super special. Just new lamb technology bringing us new machines. There's the Watcher, which is a kit bash kit from a bunch of kits. I don't know which one exactly.
I see a Warhammer in the middle torso. I see. What mech is that for the arms?
I have no idea.
Might be a Gundam.
Possibly is that? No, I don't know what it is.
Like
Might be Pat Labor.
Yeah, maybe a Pat Labor.
But I mean, I basically made a. There's 3 versions of it: Federated, Free Worlds League, a Fed Sons, and a Liao version. All really a little bit different, each of them. Rotary AC5 to SRM6. I mean, it's an archer with a rotary AC5, not an archer, a Warhammer with a rotary
So
AC5.
I gotta go. I'll be back momentarily. See y'all.
See y'all. But pretty basic, and each of the other ones are a bit the same kind of overall design. This one's got an heavy PPC and laser reflective armor instead, and the Liao version's the cheapest one. Corporates, I haven't gotten a whole lot of mechs for yet. I wanted to have more, but I never got around to it.
Pinkertons.
There's the Pinkertons Homestead. Is they're a very basic, kill everything that they can meet kind of mech.
Yep, if you piss them off, they'll go to your homestead.
Exactly.
They will find you.
I mean, it is not that. Rotary AC5, 2 medium lasers, 2 SRM4, and a light machine gun array.
Hey, that's pretty nasty, man. Armor. That's still pretty nasty.
I mean, at 90 tons with jump jets, it can det from above. That's all it needs.
Yep.
It'll squash your homestead.
No. My poor quarter acre. No.
The Bushman, which I think that's what I'm going to write. I think I'm going to do a video on this one this week.
Oh, you put the Bushman here? Nice. I know what you're I know exactly what mech that is.
The Bushman from Daugrum. The 275 mafiosi that never was.
You called it a mafiosi.
I mean, it's the 275 Mafia. I mean, you've got the Shadowhawk, you've got the Griffin, you've got
I love it. Yes, I have a little mini of it too.
Yeah, you sent it to me. I'm going to use it if I do a video.
It's got the same color and everything too. It's cool. It's like weird,
it's a very. The original is a very basic 275 Mafiosi, 585, 55 tons, 2 SRM6, and a large laser.
It's like a skinny griffin with like a, you know, like,
It's a mix of a griffin and a
that got its
and a
wisdom teeth
Wolverine.
removed.
I mean, 9.5 tons of armor. That's the amount of armor every other mafiosi has. I mean, this one was easy to think of, at least.
I love
the
it.
way I've written it, though, for this particular mech, it's literally the which company makes it? Scoble, good old Scoble Mechworks.
Scoble Mechworks.
I've been wanting to get into that 275 Mafia game. You know, with the Phoenix, with the Shadowhawk, with the Griffin, and the Wolverine. They want to get some of that money.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been trying to do that for 500 years. So they released that original one, and nobody bought it. So later on, they made an upgrade version, a royal version, because there were royal mechs, right? So we're going to make you a royal, real fancy one with Streak SRM2s and an ER large laser. And it still didn't sell. Then,
the Bushman is the Geo Metro of the car wars. You know, you have all these other companies making, like, you know, Toyota Camrys and Honda Civics, and then Geo Metro comes out with, like, I don't know, the shithole Geo Metro, like Series 8 or something. Runs on.
How's Davion? You guys love autocannons, right? We stick 2 of them on there. What, you're still not buying it? Why?
Why? Why won't you buy our slop? Buy our slop.
This one to see is okay. No, that's the really fancy one they did during the jihad. That still didn't sell.
I wonder why.
Well, no. At this point, it's pretty decent.
It's like the China off-brand trying to sell you something that's like, this is the fancy China off-brand.
I mean, 2 MML5, an ER large laser, 2 light machine guns. At this point, it's starting to be a decent enough cavalry mech. It's going to be able to do what it's supposed to do. With a clan case 2. It's the only clan tech in it. So you don't die when the
They were the last people in Tuki like at the scrapyard. Like, you know, like nobody took the clan cases. Just grab them. That'll be our selling point.
This one's got a sword.
Oh my god.
An XL engine and swords, and 2 Artemis 4 enhanced SRM6. I mean,
That's
why
so
not?
Insane.
And this is the one they sold. They tried to sell to the Republic of the Sphere with MML 5s and a large re-engineered laser and a partial wing. You know,
the one with the sword.
Throw everything you can at the wall, and hopefully one day maybe someone will buy it.
Listen, all right? Listen to the pitch. You are the Republic of the Sphere, all right? Knights, sword, Bushmen, sell. Come on, buy. You know you want it.
And you know, when the clans take over Terra, and you still have that factory for Scoble, you're like, come on, Alaric, you've lost like 75% of your Tomon. We've got Bushmans to sell, okay? Partial wing, ATMs, large pulse laser.
Where'd you get 75% from?
They're probably exaggerating, not even.
Those are rookie numbers, man.
I mean, 2 ATM 3s, a large pulse laser, an ER medium, and a micro pulse. You can do everything with that. An active probe and an ECM.
Smacks the roof of the...
If Pyramid Scheme was a mech, it's this one. Pyramid Scheme.
I mean, it's hilarious, but you can expect some companies trying to do that at some point. And I mean, I can imagine the guys at Scoble, like, yeah, they're during the succession war, and they've got Bushmans to sell, and people are not buying them. Like, oh yeah, we'll buy them. Oh great, we're selling Bushmans. What are they doing? They're taking off the arms and the legs, and they're fixing their griffins. God damn it. Like, yeah, take the engines out of them. Why? Just take the engine. We'll buy the whole thing, but just take the engine out before you ship.
That's amazing. That's just amazing. The only mech more of a meme than an urban mech. It's this one.
We've got the Mac OST from our friends at Macintosh.
Oh no! What
It's
is this thing?
It's a Ost Scout, or no, an Ost War, an Ost Soul, or an Ost, the other one there, the other Ost, as a as an OmniMech built by Apple. So you need an Apple certified technician to fix it. But,
That's so horrible.
And that's just how Apple works, and we know it, right?
Yep.
So
you have to walk the thing into Apple hangar.
you have to hire Apple certified technicians to repair it.
Yep.
So
Bring
and
it
none
in.
of them are trained to do anything. There's like no tools in the shop. It's just some Apple rep with an iPad.
You gotta make a product of the 80s. That means using programs like Apple Works.
Oh man!
And all the
And
IBM
word
mechs that I
munchers.
still need to make as well, all are going to use Lotus in their OS because Lotus is such a great thing. Ugh. There's a few clan mechs with new variants from the corporations, because the corporations buy the right to build the mechs for Clan Wolf and Clan Jade Falcon, and then build their own, because that's what corporations do, So we've got a new Blood Reaper as an example.
The Timberwolf Model 8. It's just a shittier Timberwolf 8 generations later.
So Watchdog CEWS, 2 large pulse, 2 medium pulse, an improved C3, and Streak SRM4s. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to work.
You have to do the trend where, like, with every subsequent series, there's just cheaper and cheaper crap put in it.
I'm not sure the Corps would do that, but for the Wolverines,
Confederation.
well, the Capellans did it, and a lot of people are going to notice. Okay?
A lot of people.
What do you mean those ER lasers are not ER? Well, we just bought from the cheapest guy, etc. So we've got all for the Wolverines. We've got the different X series, the I series. I've started workshopping and working on in the Invid designs from the Robotech bad guys, Robotech Masters.
Robotech Masters.
P-Crab, the name is probably gonna change because, yes, it is the smallest crab in existence.
Petite crab. Call it the petite crab. Yes.
No, it's probably gonna be spider crab. Okay. It's a it's a bug 696 with 2 ER medium lasers and a light active probe and a C3. It's nothing fancy.
That's not bad. That's actually pretty seems
it's a scout. Yeah. It's meant to be a scout, and it's going to serve as a scout with Heavy Pharaoh to give it like max armor for 3.5 tons.
But is it better than a mongoose?
No. Okay, look. The only thing better than a mongoose is another mongoose with clan tech in it.
Of a better variant, yeah.
Like that's right. It, right?
Yeah, you're right.
The snow crab, a bigger 70-ton one. C3 boosted slave, 2 LRM-15, and 2 large pulse lasers. Very basic 70-ton mech, nothing super fancy. With ANS, so it can punch stuff.
Pinch?
Well, the pincher is the Mark II with the claws. This one has 2 claws instead of the LRM-15s.
Pinch.
2 large balls, 2 claws. It's not a great mech, but I mean, you need to make some cheap mechs for them to use. Because right now this stuff is rather expensive. And a cheap command mech, or a cheaper command mech with these C3 boosted, a claw and an ERPPC, and a SRM4 with a mask. So it's fast-ish. 5.9 because it's got 112 points of ardent armor. So 224 armor value technically. I don't think it's the worst I've built, though. What's the worst I've built for that?
The ice hammer.
Well, the ice hammer is the stupidest thing I've built. Yes, because, you know, a 70-ton mech that goes 14 on with a mask and a supercharger is smart. Wait, no, what's the opposite of smart? Yes, completely stupid. That's what it is. Geez, I don't think did I not save it?
Maybe you
Might not
closed
have
it before you saved it.
Oh, no, there it is. The QRI command. 90-ton mech, it's quad. It's from an odd... it was a designed for Robotech Master, so it was not originally in Mosped. So it's the same kind of design with the weird eye in front. I think if I looked for Invid...
Well, like Mospeeder?
Not Insid. Invid. Please. In Robotech... Well, I'll have to search Invid Robotech because there's... Does that be the P crab? The one in the middle ear? Like, that'd be the P... Technically, we've switched them around. That's the snow crab, which will be the big one.
Yeah.
And that's the P crab that's going to be the small one. So, and we're going to have that battle armor probably set up as well.
Little battle armor crab.
Yeah, because it's always fun.
Yeah.
Geez, they don't have it anymore. Or yeah, I might have to look somewhere else. Because they add some of the weird designs for Robotech Masters. And there was one that was a quad with 2 big arms sticking on top. So 2 guns. So I made a mech kind of like that. A quad with 2 ER PPCs and 4 ER medium laser and a C3 boosted master that's armored. You see, I've got a lot of free criticals that I haven't used. And it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of stuff on there, except that C3 boosted is pretty big, right? C3 boosted that's armored, that's 9 tons. But where it shines is the 31.5 tons of Arden armor. So that's an armor value of 504, technically.
Yeah, these things are just walking fortresses.
I mean, you don't want to lose that boosted master.
No.
There you go.
It's a cool like VIP unit that you have, like the enemy's gonna have to kill to break your stat boost that your army's using. So
well, at this point it's more than your stat boost, because if you don't have that C3 boosted master, a lot of the units are simply not going to work because they're not going to be connected to your network. And the bioroids, if you're not connected to the network, it's not going to work all that well.
Right, because it has to follow the hierarchy of C3 stuff. Yeah.
That's the line combat version with 2 Gauss rifles instead.
Jeez.
2 Gauss, 2 medium pulse, 2 small pulse. Ammo in the legs because that's where I could fit it. And B-pods to make sure you don't get climbed on. This one doesn't, only has ballistic reinforced armor and not hardened. So it's faster at 3.5. But I mean, 2 Gauss, decent amount of lasers. It's still got to be a scary thing to fight. Made a Phoenix socket. There's probably a few of the 2Cs that I'm going to have to rebuild. Yes. That's technically the mech of the Khan of the Ice Alliance right now, with a mask and a supercharger because he's an Ice Alliance, right?
Yep.
So 513 on a Phoenix Hawk 2C. Sadly, they don't have TSM technology, so I couldn't just put TSM instead of the mask, and a full head ejection system because he wants to survive. I stripped a little bit of the ammo of the Ultra IC-10 to put 2 medium lasers in, rather than the machine guns. I don't know. It's for now, a unique mech. And there was the Urangaru, which is your Fire Mandrill heavy mech. That's an Omni with all sorts of fancy thing, including an ER large laser in the head for now, for the primary config. Don't think I've got any... Oh, no, I do have other configs on it. Oh, this one's got a flamer in the head. Even better.
Chin lasers.
This one's got improved jump jets because reasons.
I like improved jump jets. I like
I
mechs
hate
that
them.
have that.
I hate them. It's in terms of how much room and how much weight they take. I don't like them.
I like it.
You're allowed to, even though I disagreed with people on
Even
Twitter
though-
all day.
Even though
allowed.
you're wrong, you're allowed.
I don't think you're wrong. I just think I don't like them. That's
No,
it.
I know. I hear you.
And this one's
I just like that it throws people off because they don't expect it sometimes.
And this one's a standard Bioroid command mech with a boost C3, 2 ERPPCs, and an RM20 to stay in the back. Nothing super fancy.
When you say Bioroid, is that like a new type of battle mech?
It's a new type of pilot. Yeah, you weren't there when we looked at
No,
it.
it's
No, I wasn't.
yeah.
It's basically someone that you're connected to. This here is just a fleshy body in a mech that doesn't really have a brain, and you're connected to it as the commander. But if the
that's
C3 network goes
crazy.
down, well, the whole network kind of falls apart, and
Battletech's
starts not
version
working.
of Jem'Hadar.
Yep. That's some cool shit. I like it.
I mean, that's what the Union is. The big difference in the Union is that's their thing, basically. The Union's building their military through that right now. So I've got a very military-looking guy for Steel Viper. I want them to be the serious military dudes of the Union, in a way.
Why?
They're
so
your-
serious?
Yes, they're going to be the guys who want to be the best military to prove that they're finally the best, etc. So the Burroks have given up the term clans because they're just like, yeah, we're actually pirates. Let's not mince words. Let's not
They
hide
just
anything.
own it now. They're
Yeah,
like, yep, that's what we are.
We're pirates now.
Look at me. We are the
Look at me.
pirate now.
We are the pirates now. I went with a random that possibly will be their con. I'm not sure. I haven't written anything for it.
It's Masato from Evangelion,
Yes.
but a dude.
They switched out their military format. They like I said, they embrace being pirates. So the captain is the galaxy commander in a way, and I'm gonna embrace One Piece at the same time because why not?
No. Oh man.
Go all out with pirates.
Hey, One Piece is not bad. It's actually a decent anime.
But their boss is the Emperor of the Black Seas, and the
Sweet.
Paymaster is their equivalent of a lore master. He's the guy who actually controls the payments. And right now they've got a Cameron and 2 Potemkin, and the Potemkins are loot ships. Basically, when you're done with your raids, you bring them back to the loot ships, and then they spread the wealth around, depending on the old rules of piracy. They're not very great at building Omnimex, but they're building Coyotals, Omnicorvus, and Woodsmen, the really old ones. So it gives you a reason to paint that Coyotal you've got in that proliferation box at some point. So the Coyotal, the Corvus is basically an antiquated Stormcrow.
Yep.
It's not very good, but it's cheap, and they've got the plans for it. The Woodsman, we all know, the ancestor of the Timberwolf and the Manowar.
Yep.
And the Naga and the Naga 2. It's the ancestor of a whole lot of Omnimax. It's not that great, but hey, it's a mech.
Not a lot of the first generation Omnimex were that great.
And Kingfisher, another one that's in one of the boxes for some reason, and like I didn't even know it existed until I bought that box. It apparently has a lot of configurations, so it wasn't the Black Thorns. Same thing as the Grendel. It's from that one Black Thorns book. It's an odd thing nobody's read, basically.
Kingfisher's not a bad mech.
I've played it twice, and both time it did what a 90-ton mech should do.
Yeah.
So I'm okay
Same.
with that.
Same here. That's my experience.
I mean, sometimes it's just enough.
A little bit underrated because you hear most people just use the Timberwolf. They don't really think about the Kingfisher.
It's an odd mech. So yeah, the our good friends in the Baroques just go all out pirates.
Captain Harlock over there.
Exactly. And they're the ones who have been doing the most piracy and raiding and stuff like that. And everybody else in the Union basically sends their people to the Baroques for a year or so, just so that they can actually train with actual military people.
That's pretty
I was
cool.
going to say with the Baroques, instead of making them the derpy one-piece pirates, make them more like...
Well, Space Captain Harlock is a good one
Yeah,
as well
Space
for
Captain
that.
Harlock is what that was another idea I was thinking. I'm like, that would be cool.
That's
I was
a bunch of
thinking,
badass pirates that are all about freedom and liberty.
Like they used to be in like a big military thing, but then they said, "Fuck it, we're gonna just do our own thing." And they
I was going to say, like, instead of that, maybe like pirates from either Black Sails. You could probably do like a Black Dogs faction from Cutthroat Island.
Yep.
I mean, there is absolutely nothing limiting.
Or Tortuga Dominions.
They're the kinds of people that'll go to the new Oberon Confederation, and rather than invading them, they'll be like, "Hey, you guys want to join?" So
yeah, they're like the professional pirates, the your mafiosos that are not mafioso, but they're pirates.
That was
Pirates
my favorite song from Muppet Treasure Island, the Professional Pirate song.
Good reference. Good ear, man. You caught the reference.
And Ice Allion, they're the ones who go too far.
Nice Helium.
Hillian.
Hey, give him a break. He's pronouncing his H's for a change.
They're the ones who go too far because the Goliath Scorpion have absorbed most of the clan or a chunk of the clan, and they see that as a huge betrayal. And they really want to do is go in and destroy Clan Goliath Scorpion. That's their only goal in life.
Bold strategy, Con. Let's see how that works out for them. Clan Goliath. I'm going to just go shopping for empires and like they were on a supermarket game show.
Supermarket sweep.
Yeah.
Supermarket sweep.
Well, we'll just grab the turkey here, the Doritos here, and
and just tally the total at the end. Like, yay! Look how much I fucking spent.
Drift into the opposing team with the shopping cart and knock them into
the one change they made was turn the trial of position when you become a warrior. They switched that to an actual race because they're the alien, so they're assholes like that. That's why there's a race car here. So they do races now. But other than that, they go as much as possible towards that. What Kerensky said originally, like let's be true warriors. Let's have a caste system. And they keep going a bit too far all the time with that, basically. And they're the ones who fully embraced the third generation Vatgrowns, which are sexless, androgynous, and they really don't care anymore. They just our goal is to kill the Escorpion Imperio, and that's all that they really want to do. So since we've got a bit of a variety now in terms of what the exiled clans are wanting to do, it's already more diversity than the clans originally had. If you look at the first clan books, you had the Wardens and you had the Crusaders, that was about it. Even though there were minor changes between each of the clans, it wasn't huge. But we've got a little bit more now. Still not sure if we're going to make the Blood Spirit or the Fire Mandrill the sensible clan, because both of them would be funny. So Blood Spirit would make sense because that's what they were originally meant to be, and Fire Mandrill being the sensible ones would just be funny because IR Babu, and it would be very, very weird. I've got a few of the corps written up already. The Rimward Alliance I can probably work on as well to give us more of that. The Deep Periphery, I mean, it'd be nice if we actually add anything about the Goliath Scorpions outside of, they took over the Umayyads and the Asiatic. Okay, what else did they do after that? I don't know.
Took over Nouveau Castile.
Yep.
Absorbed the Ice Hellions. It was a supermarket sweep game show that they stumbled upon and just grabbed everything in sight.
They're like, this, grab that. They saw somebody else's shopping cart, grabbed their shit, and they're like, yeah, give me that one too.
Because they grabbed the Stone Rhino as well.
Yep.
And they grabbed the Warhawk. They're the only ones building Warhawks now.
As well as parts of the Smoke Jaguars.
I have an idea for the Yarn folks. I've already with the Zaku. It's already starting to be integrated with that. Basically, they're the ones who absorb the or they're going to be merging with the other bunch of Wolverines. The Clave are going to merge with the Yarn folks in their own corner. So we have that going on. Tortuga Dominions, like I said, there's quite a possibility that all those pirate factions are just going to start working for the Burroks.
It would be pretty funny to hear the Yarn folk end up absorbing the Clave.
Well, I think it would be more of a merger here. I mean, they're too tiny. They'd be too tiny populations, so they'd just start working together. That's all that would really be, and they'd accept each other more, I guess. Can you really do anything with the Fire Mandrills? Good question.
Target practice.
Target practice, yes. Well, the worst thing is the Fire Mandrills and the Blood Spirit at the start of the meta plot. I'm gonna have them go fight the Raven Alliance together.
The Fire Mandrills mantra is like, "You were bred for war. No, you were bred to lose."
Their problem is that they were super fractured. If they fixed that problem, they could go somewhere.
That sounds like a Fire Mandrill problem.
At least until Stack pulls right.
Oh no, yeah. Oh God. For the love of God, please no.
I try to be nice. And the Blood Spirit, their problem was that they were too isolationist.
I'm gonna say it again, 18.
The F word? The F bomb?
He said he wants to be nice. I can be nice.
Society and Word of Blake, those two are more associated with the Rimworld Republic, while all the clans are more associated with the Wolverines. So that's why, since I've got the write up for the Wolverines, that's why I had a little bit of an easier time with this. Those two are more like the scientific arm of this whole operation, each playing to their strength, which is bioengineering and intense cybernetics. So those are not going to be nice people. The Homeworld clans, I have no idea what I'm going to do with. I almost want to get them wiped out
again.
I almost want to get them wiped out. Get them like you thought you could wipe out the Inner Sphere clans, and now you're isolated in your own corner trying to be all cool. Here's what happens if you do that, and them running away to the Inner Sphere because they're getting wiped out, just for poetic justice.
Yeah, so like the clans finally lose the clan homeworlds, but now you have clans in your backyard, and it's like, oh, what do we do now?
So there's a bit of fun stuff going there. For fiction right now, I've got the Battle of Yorii is what I'm concentrating on. The battle between Clan Elzorse and Clan Wolf on Yorii, with the First Army group backing them up.
You wrote some extra stuff.
Yes, I've got some.
Come on,
stuff.
hand it over. I gotta go ahead.
I will. Well, for this one here, I posted it on the website already. This particular, the second chapter, let's say. You didn't proofread this. No, it's is it this one? There's like one. There's like one little thing that I've added because Lucian told me that it would be a good idea to kind of explain why the Hellsworths are being super honor abiding and doing all by the book when they know the Clan Wolf is not playing by the book. It's because Gottfried Amiro wants to show that he is the best clan. Yeah. He is the best of the best, etc., etc. So that's the big reason. Part 3 that I haven't posted, but I'm going to send you.
I haven't even seen part 2, I don't think.
No, part 2 is the Alaric Ward fighting the 77th Mechanized. So this one you did read.
Oh,
this one here is Gottfried Amiro yelling at his Galaxy commanders because he is going a little bit insane. That doesn't help him. And that would be part 5 is First Army Group stealing a dropship from the Hellsworths because that's what they do. And I explain a few things here. I explain my view on PPCs rather than the one we always see as well. I don't like PPCs being the man-made blue lightning that they always talk about in all the games and all those stuff, because that's not what a PPC would be in the end game. Correct. PPC is just you take a mass of electrons and neutrons and protons, and you accelerate it at the speed of light and shoot it at someone. That's what a PPC would be.
It's a beam cannon, is what it is.
Yeah, basically.
That's how I imagined them. They're beam cannons.
But I mean, if you shoot a mass that's 3 micrograms of hydrogen at someone at the speed of light, it's still going to hurt a whole lot. That's the thing. Yeah. It doesn't take much. And I have a bunch of crazy aerospace fighter pilots doing crazy aerospace fighter pilot things. I think people need to have that. No, it's just they're basically they draw a group of Elzors towards them. They trap a group of Elzors there while another group of commandos go and steal one of the 2 dropships that they landed. And while they're trapped there, there's a bunch of flyboys just falling from orbit straight down and just shooting at the targets because that's funny.
It's easy targets.
I'm trying to have fun. I'm gonna have to have some more chapters written on the Elzorse side. Probably have a Top Gun scene with Folk Lacenera because I think he deserves at least one time being written as a hero or as a badass. Because he's never been written as a badass yet, even though he's Khan now. It's kind of weird. So have the wolves lose a little bit, basically.
Yep.
So
Pull another Moraberg. Kill a really important wolf.
yeah, I'm
person.
gonna have to find a. I know my friends got it, but I want it too. I'm gonna have to order that one at some point. I want it. I just want that Altyson.
It is a really cool mech, man.
It's
It
a
is a really
super
cool
nice.
mech.
It's a super nice kit as well. My friend has
There's
it.
a lot of Motoroid model kits that are coming out, and they're doing all the like super robot stuff. If you go to Hobby Link Japan or like Gundam Planet,
It's the blue one. Oh, with a katana, because why not?
yep.
That's the advantage of Super Robot Wars over Battletech. They can add more weapons on their mechs easily. Battletech, it's hard
all
to
the
add
mechs are
stuff.
Omni mechs.
More than Omni mechs, they're magic.
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it. All right, we've been going on for long enough, and I do need to get ready to do other stuff, I guess. So good luck with your
Thanks for the
painting.
stream, dude. Thanks for the stream.
Happy to do that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it every 2 weeks like I've been doing, or try to do more, or I might do something different. I have someone who wants me to test out a mod for Battletech, so I might do that as well. Who knows?
That'll be cool.
We will see. So I thank you all
For
listening to
the
me for so long.
2018 computer game?
Yes. He's trying to make a
Rogue
Gundam
Tech.
mod for it. More.
Ah,
So that could be a whole lot of fun. That's one thing I'm going to have to look at, basically. So I will see everybody later, and I thank you very much for listening to me for so long. Bye-bye.
yep.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the stream.